Kettlebell swing. So grab your kettlebell. This can be done with a dumbbell as well. If that's all you got, just grab the dumbbell by one head and you go through the same movement pattern. All right. Squat width apart with the legs. I'm gonna grab down, grab the head of the kettlebell or the horns of the kettlebell. And then we're gonna go through the movement. Now, the movement all comes from the hips. So I'm creating movement or momentum with the hips. And that is going to swing the kettlebell forward in space. Now, I'm not going all the way up here, just to show you that it's not lifting with the arms. The arms are kind of along for the ride. I've got a good grip on the kettlebell. I'm not letting the shoulders get pulled here, so I'm drawing the shoulders back, but they're just moving as far as my hips propel them. The movement is a hips back and then hips forward. Hips back, hips forward. Notice the knees are unlocking, so they're not going back with the hips. They're also not squatting. So if you feel you're going up and down in space, it's more of a squat, and you can swing that way, but typically we're using this to strengthen more of the posterior chain, glutes and hamstrings, so we want a little bit more of a hinge pattern. Once I start getting a little bit more power or drive, then the kettlebell is going to start going higher. And you might get all the way up overhead, just making sure I'm not going to hit the ceiling. But typically, we just go shoulder height and call that a day. But you can explore more overhead if you're a bit more experienced and you're doing a kettlebell you can manage. Just when it comes down from overhead, it's a lot of momentum. You need to be able to make sure you can slow that momentum down appropriately. All right, let's go back to the front. So again, I'm in this squat pattern. The knees are out, so I'm not hitting the knees with the weights. You'll notice the kettlebell staying close to the groin. I'm not pushing it down to the floor here. Okay, that's about it. A couple of things to keep in mind. Spine position. It starts tall and neutral, and it ends neutral. So we're not rounding as we go down. We're also not hyperextending as we go down. The spine moves with the rest of the body. Okay, that's our kettlebell swing.